What the heck is up, people? We are back vlogging. It's been about 3 months since we posted anything, and excited to be back. Maybe doing a slightly different format here just to get things out and live a little bit more frequently. But anyways, hope all has been good. So today, just to give a little bit of context, it is a Saturday, and I am at the tail end of what would be essentially week 3 of 100-miler training, which is going to be about a 16-week block. 3 weeks ago, just got off a week rest, and that was kind of a lead up to a trail 50K that I did. Went pretty well, won the race, set the course record. But anyways, now we're on to 100-mile training. First few weeks have been going pretty well. But today's Saturday, today's long run day. So really the focus today is I'm going to be getting on some trails as point number 1. We're going to the ski hill, which there's a few really good ski hills and some single track. So that second point is getting on the ski hills, getting some elevation gain today. It's kind of a freestyle long run, honestly. We're just going to be hitting single trail, and then every once in a while we'll kind of pop out, hit a few of the big hills, and then pop back into the trail. Goals to get 2 hours 30, 2 hours 45 in today, give or take. So it won't be too much distance wise, just because we are hitting those hill hikes. So it'll be a little slower going in terms of just average pace and mileage, but it'll be a really tough run. And then the final focus today is a carb intake. So we've been doing a lot of research and seeing all these pros slamming carbs and fluid intake during their races and stuff. And that's always been a weak point of mine doing ultra running the last few years or so here, is just getting enough fuel in. So we've been way more diligent. Shout out to Colleen, who's done a ton of research and coaching to help me and Josh, who I'm running with today, get a little bit more of a game plan of not only what we need to do on race day, but how do we actually build up to that amount. So we got this big order from The Feed, which is a website where you can, pretty much anyone who sells like goos or carb drinks or anything like that is listed on there. So we were able to get kind of a sampler platter of sorts built for ourselves. So we're going to try a few different new things today. I also got I don't know if I can pan over to it effectively, sorry if not, but that's just my home kit of Tailwind and Honey Stinger chews and some of my more usual stuff. So my rough goal is to get about 80 grams of carbs per hour for this run, which will be pretty much the top end of what I've ever done before. Again, we're seeing people do north of 100 in trail running nowadays, which is crazy amount. So we're trying to ease up to that. Not every single long run is going to be all about slamming carbs, but we do need every now and then make sure we're ticking up there, and either way, what I'm doing a lot better job of too is just tracking it, so that way every single week I can look back and say, oh, I was pretty light this week, oh, I was right on the money this week. So still got time, but yeah, today will be a good day to test out fueling and carb intake. We're testing some high carb Tailwind and a whole slew of other like gels and things like that. So I'll be able to report back after the run and see what I liked. I'll probably only get to try, maybe 2 of the 10 different products that we bought today specifically, but we'll keep dripping out the other stuff soon to come. So anyways, again, 3 weeks into training. This week is going to be a 9-hour weekly total time on feet. So week 1 was about 6, maybe closer to 7. And then last week was 8, this week's 9. So pretty quick ramp up, tacking on a whole hour every week. But only taking a week off after what was a good winter block in that 50K. Feeling pretty comfortable getting right back up to that mileage quickly. So so it's all going well so far. This week was a little bit of a challenge. I had a little bit of sickness. We had some house issues go up, go down. So had a couple of audibles in there in terms of I took a day off. So my last couple of days I made a little bit longer. So it's all good. That's just part of the fun. So yeah, still aiming to get that 9-hour total time on feet this week. Probably just be about like 60 miles or so. But yeah, not bad for kind of week 3 of the training cycle here. So we'll be able to build on that easily. But either way, we're almost to the ski hill here, so yeah, I'll take you along for the run and see if I can get any shots here, and I'll kind of wrap up afterwards with y'all. So let's go do this. All right, what's going on? So this is just the evening after this exact run here, and just going to walk through it with you. So basically, to start, as I mentioned, we were really focused on high carb as a priority for this long run. It's going to be a priority for a lot of the long runs. You see that the feed bag, that's a website where we bought a whole ton of different things that we haven't tried before, just so we can start sampling things, see what we like, what we don't like, what settles well, what doesn't settle well. So the feed, really good website if you're in kind of that scenario. We just split an order 50-50. So we just did one big bulk order, and now we're just kind of going through it, as well as just prepping what I need. So I got a couple handhelds. This right here is the high carb tailwind. This is my first time ever trying it. This one was actually pretty tough to get down. Got a little funnel there, got my little home kit. So we're doing a lot of wheeling and dealing to get started. But again, for a long run, for 100 training, it's important to go into these with a little bit more forethought than your average daily run. And again, this carb training, gut training really is what it is relatively new to us too. So we're just trying to go slow, make sure that we have everything prepped, make sure I don't gunk up that funnel right there, and we're good to go. So about half the things I tried were new, half the things I tried today were things that I've already know work for me. So getting the run started here. There's Josh. We're getting things going. A really nice morning, as you'll be able to see throughout this whole video. It's about 5:30 in the morning here. This time of year is great because the sun's already up. You don't need headlamps at this time, which is pretty uncommon. We have a few weeks where this is the case. So most of this is going to be single track. You'll see us kind of bebop out a little bit to hit some of these ski hills like I mentioned on the drive over. But again, this is early on, so we're just kind of getting the ball rolling here. Just chit-chatting, kind of catching up, easy pace, which really the whole run was an easy pace. Goals just, get the time on feet. There wasn't anything super high intensity specific that we wanted to hit today. So really, again, just about getting the miles in, getting those hills in, and making sure that we were taking all the carbs that we wanted. I think here I'm telling a little bit about some of my weekly tragedies. We had a ceiling cave in, actually. About half of a ceiling worth of drywall just cracked and cascaded in all at once in the middle of the night. So anyways, gripe story set aside. Good start to the run for sure. You see we're kind of going uphill there. Shooting over to me a little bit. When it comes to long runs, really the goal for 100-mile training, again, generally, the way I'm structuring it is I do one workout a week and one long run a week. Rarely do those coincide on the same day. So typically long runs are going to be on trails just because I'm training for a trail race. And typically, again, the pushing the pace is never really the priority, at least the way I'm structuring things here. I do have one day a week where I do try and get higher intensity, but again, separate days. So, yeah, we're just kind of getting rolling here, and a couple good views. You see, we'll just stop here for just a couple of seconds, so nothing too crazy there. But again, just a beautiful morning, so we're just trying to, also enjoy our time out here and make sure that we're soaking in some of the sun. So here's a little bit of bushwhacking. You can see us kind of pause, and Josh is our resident poison ivy identification expert, so I just kind of follow in his foot tracks because he's better at spotting it than I am. And then you see a pretty sandy hill here. So this is good stuff. Not really anything that we'd be running on in Superior. Superior is really rooty, really rocky. We can't really simulate how technical the trails are here to the fullest extent, so it just kind of is what it is. Obviously, the trails we have here are still great, but they're a little bit more flowy, a little bit more, groomed for the most part. But either way, we're enjoying going up here. This point of the run, still early. I think at this point I did try my first couple sips of that high carb tailwind. It was super intense, so I don't know if it's something I'll be really using. I definitely shouldn't be using it in the first hour of the run. That's probably pretty overkill. I was just kind of eager to test it out. So this early in the training cycle, good to be good to be just in that mindset of testing things and figuring out what you like, what you don't. All right. So again, we kind of popping back into the trails here. A lot of footage of Josh. Something I got to figure out is how to get good footage of me running, you know, whether it's solo days or days when I'm with somebody. It's kind of a pain in the butt, right, to set up your tripod, run back, then run past the tripod to get the shot, then have to run back, pick it up again, and kind of set it up. So as much as I want to get good footage, it's something where if I'm trying to really get these videos out on a more consistent basis, that's gonna kick my butt, just mentally being able to do that. I'm not a vlogger, right? So I'll have to figure that out. Maybe get some different attachments. Maybe just like a longer selfie stick, I can get better shots. And maybe there's a setting on my DJI, if anybody knows, that maybe can just like follow my face. I always notice like when I try selfie stick it with my arm, it kind of moves around, and again you get kind of these shots of up my nose, or you know, not really fully on me. This is kind of going into the clearing here. I think we might be just finishing up the bulk of our run. Josh did about 2:20 today, and I did 2:45, so I think we might be getting back to the end here. So again, I skipped a big chunk of the middle, but so that first hour I got that high carb tailwind in. The second hour I switched to my normal tailwind, and then I also tried a Morton gel. I don't know if it's called a Morton gel, but a Morton something. It was honestly kind of tasted more like Jell-O, but that was a 40 gram of carb item there, and that actually I was pretty happy with. I like that. So there's a quick shot of Lisa. Shout out Lisa. She had a good run today too. So right after I dropped them off, I hopped on these other trails, kind of on the other side of the parking lot. Looks relatively similar. You can see it's getting a little bit brighter here. It's getting probably about 8:30 in the morning, 8 a.m., something like that. And again, just clipping off the last 25 minutes or so of the run. Same, relative effort the whole time. So I'm still just running easy. I'm not trying to crush the last few miles or hammer it home. Just not a day where that really would matter. So just enjoying the last few miles solo here. And the only other thing I took just to kind of finish the carb talk off is I slammed a little bit more water, and I had a honey stinger chew, which I take those regularly. So that wasn't a new thing for me, but something that I do got to give myself credit for. So I think I had 90 grams the first hour, 90 grams the second hour. Each of them I finished a full handheld worth of fluid, which is about 18 ounces. And then that third hour, which is more like 45 minutes, I did just that one honey stinger chew and just slammed, maybe like 4 ounces of water just to keep the fluid intake going too. Finished off with 6 by 30-second strides. Try to do strides once a week, and I hadn't gotten them in yet just because I got sick in the middle of the week and yada yada. I wanted to get them in today before the week was over. So that's it for this run. Here's me just kind of closing it out. So I'll kind of cut back to this morning, Austin.
All right, run is done. Run went pretty well. It was 2:45. Got some strides in at the end. I had a decent bit of elevation gain. I don't have the stat in front of me quite yet, but felt easy, which was good, and the carb loading was good too. I mean, beautiful morning out here, as you can see. Sun's blinding me, but pretty happy with that for third long run of this training block. The first 2 hours were each at about 90 grams of carbs per hour. Last 45 minutes was a little bit less. Still got some fluids in me, still had one snack in there, so pretty happy with the gut training piece of it. That's definitely the biggest concern of mine, just personally, but good run for the day. So we'll wrap that up for now, and we will grab some breakfast, get the Saturday going, and we'll see you guys on the next one.